Are you ready for fall? Come join me and see what I'm up to this fall season. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here or a returning subscriber, I thank you for joining me. If you are new, I would love it if you would hit that subscribe button right down there and ring that notification bell so this way you'll be notified of all uploads onto my channel. Also, I would really love if you would follow me on Instagram at JanEllenRN. And we also have a Facebook group, so I will put that link in the down bar below where it says more info. You click on it. Yeah, I'll put all the links to everything in that description box below. Okay, so we got all that out of the way. All right, so today is Friday. It's September 4th, which is the beginning of the Labor Day weekend here in the States. So I hope everybody has some really fun and safe plans for the weekend. I know personally I will be home trying to catch up on my knitting. That's my plan for the weekend. But that sounds good to me because it's been a crazy time. So let's see what else is going on here. That's pretty much about it. We're trying to keep the drama to a minimum here at KnitScents. So let's jump right into the knitting. Now mind you, this is take two because I already shot this video and realized almost 3/4 of the way through that I didn't have the light on. Yeah, but I did drop stuff on the floor and that's not going to show. So for once, maybe I'll get through this without dropping something. Okay, first up, I have been working on the Rio Calina cowl, the cowl that we're doing for Cat Bordhi in her honor. And let me show you how far I've gotten, how much progress I've made here. Let's see. This is the right side. Okay, I measured it. So much not dropping. I measured it and right now it measures 19.5 inches. And if I'm correct, I believe the pattern says that you knit it to 34 inches. Here's my issue with that, and it has nothing to do with the pattern whatsoever. And I will get into the pattern itself and why I think this is such a great knit, even if you can't do the 34 inches fully. This, for some reason, for those of you who don't know, I had surgery on both my hands literally just before this whole pandemic, because if I had not had it when I did, they had canceled all elective surgery here in New York. So it would have been even worse because by now I wouldn't be able to knit at all. And I remember when I went for my checkup to remove the stitches and all of this and that, we already had the masks on. So yeah, but unfortunately the movement in my thumbs is still not what it should be. Even though the surgery was what, like 6 months ago, it still gets painful. And unfortunately I have arthritis in both hands as well. And this pattern with the cables and the manipulation and all is just literally hurting my hands, and that's unfortunately why I have not been able to make the progress on it that I had hoped. But what I'm planning to do is to get hopefully another few inches done on this, and then I'm going to do the last of the ribbing and then bind it off, and I will show how the directions say to fold it. I will do a video on that, but at that point I'm going to call it a child's cowl and I'm going to put it away for a gift, because there's no, it would take me so long having to keep putting it down to make this as an adult pattern. This is what I have left on my one skein of yarn. I'm probably not even going to go into the other skein. In fact, now I'm thinking I hope I have enough to just do the ribbing on the end and leave it at what it is. And you know, I'm gonna block it a fair amount so that hopefully I can get some length out of it and make it a child's cowl. But let me just say that I love knitting it, and I have really enjoyed working on it. And I'm going to put in some close-ups here of what I've done on the cowl and how you can see what I've taken away from this project and how it's been such a great learning experience. Let me show you where my cables began. We did this ribbing here right at the bottom, and then the pattern tells you to just put in cables where you feel like it. And you can see from the bottom here where I started to put in the cables. And then I noticed where the cables would cross and how I liked the way that that looked. And I wasn't so crazy about like this part here. Here I was trying to make like U's. So I mean, I liked that look, but I really liked the look of crossing cables more. So that led me to trying to cross more of the cables in sort of a more coordinated way. And I really started to learn how cables work, how you can make a circle by going in and out, and how you can make an S. So I would really highly recommend trying this pattern. Even if you don't make it an adult size, if you make it shorter, if you turn it into a little scarf, a little around the neck thing, I can't recommend this highly enough. First of all, to learn cabling, because you're not following a specific pattern. If you mess up, you didn't mess up. There's nothing to really mess up. And the other suggestion I would make is if you are a diehard user of a cable needle, this is a great way to practice cabling without a needle. If it works for you and it's something you enjoy doing, then you've learned a new skill. If you don't like it and you don't enjoy it, at least you gave it a shot and it didn't mess anything up for you. Personally, those cable needles to me are so fiddly, I can't bear using them. So that's my plan with the Rio Calina cowl. Hopefully, maybe over the weekend, I will get to where I bound off and am able to show you how to put this cowl, how to assemble it the way she says in the pattern. So that was number one. That's really, I've been trying so hard to get this done and to get more work done on it. But like I said, after working on it for an hour or so, I just have to put it down. My hands hurt so badly. And I really don't want to leave it lingering on the needles and just leave this whole cowl hanging. So hopefully over the weekend, I will be able to, if not over the weekend, by the early next week, put up a video on how I assembled the cowl. So that's number one. Number two, and I'm just gonna bring my bag over because it's already off and out of the bag, because like I said, this is take two. I cast on, and I believe I had mentioned that I was casting this on in a previous video. I have joined Laura Nelkin's knit along for her Tasca. And I will insert a picture here of what Tasca is. It's a vest with pockets. Tasca in Italian means pocket. And the pattern, it's actually a collection of patterns. Now, if you look through the collection online, on Laura's website, on Ravelry, whichever you're more comfortable with, if you look at the collection, you can see that it comes in everything from newborn, I believe, which is the only one that doesn't have pockets. It comes in newborn all the way up to adult sizes. And it comes in worsted weight and DK weight or sport weight, and it comes in a tunic length and a crop length. Okay, having said all that, you can purchase, like let's say you want to do what I'm doing, which is the sport cropped. You can purchase the sport cropped weight pattern, and I will link all of this in the down bar below. But if you love the pattern and maybe you want to make one as a baby gift, because it would be a really fun quick knit, because it's a vest, there are no sleeves, so it would make a great baby gift. So if you think you're going to want to make maybe the cropped and the tunic, maybe a baby length, you can purchase the entire collection, which comes with all of them. And I do believe the patterns have, I know it does in the collection, I'm pretty sure in each of the patterns there are links to tutorial videos that Laura has put up to help with the provisional cast on, how to unzip a provisional cast on, 3 ways to do a provisional cast on. Laura is wonderful when it comes to support for her patterns, video tutorials. She answers questions on her forums. I know her moderators are excellent at stepping in and helping everybody out. Okay, let me show you what I have. This, I just cast this on. I don't know if I cast it on the first when the cowl started, if I got around to it on the second. But you can see what you're doing here is you're knitting the front and the back at the same time. So this would be right now the right shoulder. Okay, and what you're doing is you are knitting it, let's see if I'm backwards here, sideways. So you're knitting from side to side. Because there are no sleeves on this, you don't have, you start with a full cast on of stitches for the front and the back. I am right now at the point where I am going to knit up to the neck, put these shoulder stitches on a holder, and start a second ball of yarn to knit the back stitches. So I'm going to continue going across. Now you could do it at the same time, or you could do one at a time, which may be what I'm going to do this time, but you're working this way. So in the front, you're going to be doing your neck decreases, and while you work the back with the second ball of yarn, you're going to be doing your back neck decreases. When you come over to here, you're going to rejoin with one ball of yarn and then continue doing this on the other side, the shoulder, the left shoulder. What you have is a piece of fabric with a hole in it that you put over your head, and because this is a vest, it has no sleeves, so you're open on the sides. And the way that you close it up is by knitting panels up the side, okay, from the bottom to the top. And Laura has a video tutorial, because in those panels are where the 2 pockets are literally knit right in. So that's what I'm working on right now. I don't even remember, I'm gonna have to look to see when, this is phase 2. Phase 1 of the cowl started before the actual cast on, where Laura did Zoom conferences with everybody that wanted to determine the size, appropriate yarns. As I said, she is extremely involved. She does a lot of just extra to get everybody really to complete the project and enjoy the process. I am using, for this, I am knitting mine in Aran More Light, because I happen to have a sweater's quantity worth of it, but and I know I'm going to have a lot left over. But I really, really loved this yarn, and I knew I was saving it for something special. This is kind of a, well, it's not, it's a tweedy fabric, and I am going to show a close-up of it. It is a tweedy blend of fine merino wool, cashmere, and silk. It is 80% wool, 10% silk, and 10% cashmere. So it has that very rustic look to it, but it doesn't have that, what can be a rustic, scratchy sometimes, or itchy. Between the silk and the cashmere, this is amazing. And I did knit a swatch. I don't know if do I have it here? Let me see, let me take a quick look. I do. Here's my swatch, and the reason I'm showing it is because I swatched, I washed it, and Laura describes exactly how she wants you to do the swatch. But what I wanted to say was, after you wash it particularly, this is so super soft. This yarn is amazing. I am actually going to have to order some more for another project because this is just, it's so light and airy, but because it's got the wool in it and the cashmere, it's going to make a nice warm vest. So that's my new cast on, and I am hoping, I know Laura wants to, she has the knit along timed to be completed by Rhinebeck, which is virtual this year. There is no in-person Rhinebeck, but there is going to be a virtual Rhinebeck. So let me tell you what I am planning on casting on. Again, I'm hoping that I finish my vest, which was originally going to be my Rhinebeck sweater, and probably will because I don't think I'm going to finish what's coming up next before Rhinebeck. But I have to show you, a friend of mine spotted this, well, a couple of friends, and I got right. I had to. I just absolutely had to. So let's take a look. So when I finished Tasca, or made enough progress in it that I feel I can cast on, I haven't got my yarn yet. Hopefully by the next time I record, I will have it to show you. Myself and my 3 besties are doing a knit along that we're going to start on October 1st for this pattern, which is Lethos, and it is a kind of a cardigan. It's not, I'm not sure what you would call it, whether you would call it a cardigan. Let's take a look. I will link the pattern below. It is by Natasja Hornsby. It's listed as a sweater cardigan. It does not button down the front. And if you look here, you can see that she actually has it held closed in this picture with a shawl pin. Okay. Now, I'm going to put a picture of it somewhere up here, maybe up there. I will put a picture of the sweater. It calls for, I ordered the exact yarn that she used. One I had to order from England. Two I had to order from Washington State, I think they're coming from. So when I get them, I will give you all of that information. But I just want to point out the cuffs and the collar, the shawl collar of the sweater is done in one color brioche. And then you'll see that beautiful pattern down the back. And then there is ribbing on the sweater that has 2 separate contrast colors. So it should be a super fun, really interesting knit. I do love brioche. I haven't done 1 color brioche in a while. I've done 2 color brioche. I have done 1 color brioche. I really like 2 color, but I'll stick to the pattern on this one. I think this is going to be too much to try making all these modifications myself. So that is my long range plan. That's what's going on my needles next, and that's pretty much all I have for what's on my needles now. So I guess that's pretty much all I have to say. I will also mention that on this channel I've decided not to put the fragrance stuff in with the knitting videos, but to leave my fragrance stuff, that was my hitting my really flimsy desk here, but putting my fragrance videos also on this channel, so you can pick and choose. You can watch whatever you're here for, whichever interests you, but that's kind of my thing, is knitting and fragrance. We know KnitScents, I mean, that's where it came from. So if you are interested in the fragrance, I will put up a card for my Harvest Collection video where I did show everything. It just came out, it premiered September 1st. I do have brochures that show everything that is available, what's new, what's returning. And also the other thing I wanted to mention was the scent and fragrance of the month for September. That is now available. I will link my website below. And the other thing that I wanted to mention, if you aren't, and if you've never experienced Scentsy, if you've never tried any of the products, if you would like to receive some happy mail from me, which is I will have samples in there and some fun stuff and any information you may need, I would be happy to send you some happy mail. So if that's something that you're interested in, I will have my email address linked below. Just drop me an email, tell me that you would like to receive some Scentsy happy mail, and I will get it right out to you, and I hope that you will enjoy it and at least get to experience what Scentsy is all about. So that's pretty much all I have today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. See, my thumb is actually working today. so give me a thumbs up for my thumb being up today. And I hope everybody enjoys a wonderful, wonderful and safe Labor Day weekend. And I will see you again soon. Bye.